The Top Knot Creative Show, the Top Knot Creative Show. Seeking super smart, super talented superheroes. How to be wow over the world and all around. The Top Knot Creative Show, the Top Knot Creative Show.
Hello everyone, this is Shanti Schrader and welcome to the show where we seek out the super smart, super talented, and basically the superheroes who are taking over the world and making it super wow. Today we are talking with M Lusk, a native of Lancaster area. She is a realtor and owner of Prudential Lancaster Real Estate with over 20 years experience in residential and commercial real estate, and launched her career while living in Florida and then returned to Lancaster where she co-owned a mid-size agency. She started Prudential Lancaster Real Estate in 2006. In 2012, Anne was ranked as the #1 realtor in Lancaster County, and she is in the top half of 1% among realtors in Prudential Real Estate North America. A graduate of Pennsylvania State University, Anne majored in telecommunications. Following graduation, she began working in the field of broadcast journalism as a TV news anchor at KOUS TV in Montana, and later expanded her career in the world of sales at Armstrong World Industries. She served as the steering committee for Lancaster General Health and B. Barshinger Cancer Center, and as a member of the board of trustees for Linden Hall School for Girls. And we'll have to ask her to pronounce this, Littlets. And she is married and has 2 boys, age 11 and 14. Without further ado, Anne, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me today. It's always nice to share with creative and new ideas. I look forward to helping others.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about how you started in real estate and the agency side of everything.
Well, I would say I started in real estate not by choice, really. I used to wholesale exotic cars throughout the world, and people would fly into Palm Beach, Florida, and they would love the area so much they would want to buy a home. And so they would say, Anne, you're so good at the cars, finding me the right Bentley or Rolls Royce I want. Help us find a house because this is a great place. So I do the research, meet with the realtors, preview the homes, and then go around with the client and the realtor. Well, my one German client one day said, Anne, you should be a realtor. And I said, oh, no, I do not think so. But it really was the doorstep of saying, well, maybe I should do this. Maybe it would be something that I would be good at. Mm-hmm. So it was sort of by accident.
Well, that is amazing in and of itself. Luxury cars, too.
Luxury homes.
Love it. Now, when did you decide? First, you started with a co-owned agency. Is that correct? Correct.
I started with a small mom and pop here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. When I moved back to Pennsylvania, when I was in Florida, I was at Gimelstob Better Homes and Gardens, and I had a fabulous sales manager named Jerry, who taught me a lot of really great skills. Mm-hmm. When I moved back to Pennsylvania, I started at a very small agency in the city of Lancaster, and became friends with a RE/MAX agent who encouraged me to go see a man named Joe Stomp, who has a company called By Referral Only. And I then moved from the small agency to RE/MAX, and then I co-owned an agency called Prudential Burger Lusk Real Estate, and then ended up in 2006 opening up Prudential Lancaster Real Estate because it was my dream to have my own firm by myself, and also have control of the creativity of marketing and not living within a box. Just being able to create my own style of agency.
And what was that? What was your vision when you started your own agency?
Well, I felt that in life we go so many places and we really are not wowed by service. We really are just treated that they're lucky that we showed up. There's no excitement or enthusiasm. And think of it, the largest thing that most people purchase is a home. It's where their memories are made. It's where their children are born. It is where the major events of their lives occur. To walk in and have a lackluster experience is not my goal. I wanted people to know I truly cared about what the home meant to them and how it would best serve their needs and their families' needs for many years to come. I wanted it to be an experience that they felt. I really didn't want them to just settle for a house. Buying a home is like getting married. If you say I do and you don't, it's going to cost you a lot of money and years of aggravation. So I really wanted people to not settle. I want them to be really thrilled about their purchase because it is going to mean so much to them. And when I purchased my first home in Florida, I really didn't feel that it was an important thing. It was just like another number, not like a real, I wouldn't say the word intimate, but I felt like I didn't get any great service. Mm-hmm. And buying a home's a little scary because all of a sudden, if you've never owned a home before, there's a lot of responsibility. And so much that you don't know, you don't know. And I want people to really make good decisions and to take the time to evaluate the home to make sure it will meet their needs. Mm-hmm. And it is a responsibility. You know, the sad part is many people in our country have forgotten that. They've bought homes, they've walked away, they haven't taken care of them, and it ended badly. Mm-hmm. I want my clients to have a great experience and find a home and know how to take care of it. Just by even, I give people a little checklist that talks about maintenance items, monthly, quarterly, annually, and yearly. Again, to take care of this home that they've worked so hard to purchase.
So I imagine as you're building this agency and you're bringing on more people, how do you find the alignment there so that your vision is carried out?
I would say that I always talk to the people coming in and tell them to remember it's people first. Uh-huh. It's not about a commission check. If you're counting your commission check, then you really shouldn't be in this business. You should always be willing to serve people in their needs, and the success will come. Mm-hmm. If you are focused on the bottom line, you are not at the right place. I want people to focus on doing a great job for others, and again, the success will come.
So as you started your own agency, imagine you put a number of processes in place, like the checklist, handing someone a checklist. What are some of the other things that you did to create that strong foundation for yourself?
I would say number one, and people might laugh at this, my first week in real estate, I realized I needed an assistant. Mm-hmm. And I had no business, which is really funny, isn't it? But I got an assistant to do the things I wasn't good at, such as organizing a database. Now, at the time when I started in real estate, we had index cards that were alphabetized, mm-hmm. and writing the index cards where we put people's names, addresses, phone numbers. Very few people had email addresses back then. And details about them. Did they have a child? Did they have a dog? Where did they work? What did they like to do? What were their hobbies? And then every year, from the first year I was in real estate, I would go and give them a gift and personally drop it off at holiday time, even if it was a supersized Hershey bar, or I made cookies or jam. I went to their house personally and delivered the gift.
And what were the reactions to that?
They were thrilled. Because, think of it, no one really acknowledges anything or says thank you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No one, after the fact, people feel like, well, they've moved on to the next. I like to keep in touch with my clients. Now, as my client base grew, when I was visiting like 50 or 60 people a year, I got a little burned out in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went to what I call my Go Godiva program, where I probably sent out 650 boxes of Godiva chocolate this year.
Wow.
And again, I get a lot of referrals off that, and it's just saying thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people bought a house for me 10 years ago, and I'm still sending them Godiva chocolates. But it is where I'm recognizing people. Also, I like to send e-cards, and I don't ever make my e-cards or anything about me. I make it about them. What can I do to help them? And I feel that most people love any kind of recognition, mm-hmm. and just want to be served. I mean, think about going into a restaurant. How many times you do that in a week? And no one has a smile on their face or says thank you. Yet they expect a good tip. So I try to take that to real estate to make the experience excellent, positive. I'm enthusiastic. And we all know this is real life, so things happen that aren't always desirable, mm-hmm. in the sense that things will go wrong. But it's the attitude that you have, to make a difference. It's how you handle things. It's how you make lemonade, out of lemons.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you rejuvenate those energies?
I always feel that each and every day I do what's called a gratitude exercise. Mm-hmm. No matter how stressful or bad things are, I go and list 20 things that I'm grateful for, mm-hmm. each and every day. And then realize how much better off that I am just living where I live in the United States, the freedoms we have, and I'm grateful. There's so many people with real problems. Mm-hmm. And in real estate, we do believe we have real problems because a lender didn't get us a mortgage commitment. A sale fell through because of a home inspector that was an alarmist. We have so many trials and tribulations. I had clients die before settlement.
Oh.
I've had, people, the husband leaves them for another woman before settlement. I mean, I can write a book.
Oh, sure.
About so many things that happen. The best was when the, Texas Rangers came and arrested a guy at my settlement. Or like a conviction. This was like years and years ago in the 90s. And I live in Lancaster County, and people came from out of state to arrest this gentleman. So you have all these things that happen, but you always have to keep a positive attitude that it could be much worse. Mm-hmm. And you just remember the gratitude that you need to have just from being able to breathe. And wake up every day. And that every client that comes your way, whether they're super nice, okay, or really miserable, they're a true blessing.
So I love all that. I think that's all just a wonderful way to go about life. I mean, it does keep you, your juices going and able to just feel that energy. What are some other ways that you feel like you've built your business that has created a strong foundation and maybe has made it duplicatable?
I would say if people said, how can I be successful at real estate? Number one, and it's really simple and elementary, send 5 to 10 handwritten personal acknowledgement notes a day. When is the last time you received a handwritten note that someone took time and put thought into it? Number one. Number two, tell people what you do. Don't be a secret agent. Go out there and say that you're a real estate professional. Number 3, have a database. Everybody knows at least 400 people. Have those people on your database whether they like you or not. Number 5, ask for the business. And never stop learning. I mean, one of the things that people don't know about me, besides that I am a workaholic, is every week I listen to at least 2 or 3 books on tape while I'm driving around. Think and Grow Rich. You know, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know, Good Degree. Fill your mind with positive things. Don't be, if you are comfortable, then you are not in a position to achieve anything. I try to make myself uncomfortable every week because you don't grow or get better if you're not making yourself uncomfortable. And most people that get into real estate, they don't want to be uncomfortable. And real estate is a business of rejection. The more times you fail, the more times you succeed. And I would say number 6 on the list is keep trying. The average person will not have any clue who you are without 6 consistent contacts. So you've got to contact them over and over, but you do it in a way that benefits them. They don't want to hear how many homes I've sold. They don't want to hear that I won some, Chairman's Circle Platinum or Diamond Award for the 12th time. They want to know what I'm going to do to help them. And most real estate agents, I mean, what's funny is when, let's say, an expired listing comes up, and how I know this is my own mother's house was on the market, and I told her she needed a break. And when it expired in the system, what was fascinating is she has the same last name as me, and all the marketing packets that showed up at my mother's house. The interesting part is all of those packets talked about the agent. Not one of them put something in there or how were they going to help my mom sell her house. And I think a great success formula is to remember what every person asks themselves with them. What's in it for me? That's the only thing the consumer cares about. They don't care if you're CRS, GRI, supersonic diamond platinum achiever. They just want to know what's in it for them. And I would say people need to remember that when they're getting into real estate. What's in it for the client? Why should they use you? And the other thing that I would say makes a difference is I would do anything to help somebody. I think getting involved in the community and giving back is an excellent way to grow your business. Number 2 is to go and do something else that no one's willing to do. And it might just be when you're new in business, a client's going out of town and they have no one to water their plants, and offering to do that. Takes 15 minutes of your time, probably twice that week. But what a wow, what a positive talking point they can share with all of their friends and neighbors. Again, most people in this industry aren't willing to see what they can do to serve others. And if you take the super servant mindset, you will achieve. It's not saying being a doormat. It's saying go and do something someone doesn't expect you to do. Under promise and over deliver.
I love that. I do want to talk about kind of the fear that people have, and maybe the reason why they won't go and do something that people aren't expecting. And it is what you mentioned was rejection, the fear of rejection. Maybe you can give us some perspective on what rejection really is, and how to position that in your mind differently to get over it.
See, I think when someone says no, I'm one step closer to a yes. So that's how I look at things. And again, if you spend the time getting to know the person, maybe it has nothing to do with buying the house. Maybe they're scared about losing their job. Mm-hmm. Maybe they have something going on in their life, like a sick parent they're caring for. A lot of it's about taking the time to get to know people. And your rejection is so much less, because sometimes people feel like a no means no. Most people, everyone you know, in the next 5 to 7 years will probably buy or sell a house or know someone that is. Mm-hmm. So it might be no for this moment, but there's nothing against keeping in touch with them. And letting them know you care, and just calling them up or writing them a note and ask them how they're doing. It doesn't hurt. Again, I think it all comes back to your mindset. Mm-hmm. I see it from owning a company, and I have a separate office manager broker, because what I love to do is sell and serve people. And if I'm ordering photocopy paper, that's probably not going to help me sell a house. Yes. But what I tell the agents here is, what's your plan? What do you want to do? Why not? Well, I don't know if I can get that listing, and I say, why not? Well, their brother's a realtor. I can't tell you how many times I listed someone's house and they had a brother, an uncle, or an aunt that was in real estate. There's no limitations. Again, it's a why not. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what people have to say to themselves.
Now, you've had a wonderful amount of experience. What is it that you are next looking forward to, whether it's with Prudential, Lancaster, real estate individually? What's next for you?
Well, I would say just building an office, and I'm not looking to have a mega office. I'm looking to have 35 to 50 agents that are top of their game, that not only sell homes, but get excellent customer surveys, and people that are willing to look at what's next. Mm-hmm. For instance, think of how technology's changed. When I got into real estate, no one had a website because we didn't know what a website was. But I remember getting my first laptop, which you put 3 pictures on and it was full.
Yes.
And it was like $9,000. But I still bought one because I knew, hey, the internet was coming, mm-hmm. marketing was coming. I always look at what's next. And again, that's just what I meant earlier in my talk here about making yourself uncomfortable. I mean, when I switched to the iPhone, that made me uncomfortable, I assure you. But if I wouldn't have gotten uncomfortable, I wouldn't have been able to manage the 4,900 text messages I got last month. And I feel like that's what I mean about being uncomfortable. And always, and going to conventions, what's coming up? What's the newest technology? What are customers' new expectations? Besides, I want to be helped 5 minutes ago. People have no patience now. They want everything now. So we, as agents, in order to compete in this business, we have to say, what do we need to be investing in? What do we need to be doing? What do we need to take the time to learn to serve our clients better? To be in front of the line, not in the back of the line. I mean, I have friends in real estate that do not know how to use the MLS on the computer. And they sell houses. I can't imagine what kind of stress that causes them.
Right.
And I am in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. But Amish people do have cell phones, by the way, and iPads. I see them at Starbucks. They are battery operated,
so
though.
If they're battery operated, then
that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Now, if some of our listeners were looking to get in touch with you, someone at your agency, what's the best way for them to do that?
I would say don't laugh, texting. I guess you guessed that from 4900 text.
Yes, wow.
But 717-271-9339 is my personal cell phone, and I do take texts, obviously. And my website is www.annelusk.com. Again, www.annelusk.com. And it's Anne with an E, of course.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Anne, for being on the show today. You shared so many valuable tips.
Well, thank you. It's my honor, and I'm truly grateful I was chosen.
Oh, and your energy, your excitement for everything you do, and I mean everything that you do that you still have energy for, is just it comes across so well. So thank you again. Thank you to our listeners for listening in. Now get out there, build something beautiful. Until next time, take care.